All right, so we're gonna get started right now with the open road. Welcome to the open road to mastery. This is a journey which we're going to share also with the world. So that's going to be wonderful, a little bit scary. It's a wonderful experiment to give everybody a chance to see what it's like to be part of a community of practice, going on a learning journey together, using wonderful creative plays in a virtual space. We have a wonderful group here. And some of you already know each other. You're from different travel groups. Yeah, of course, you know me. But for the rest, who else is watching? I'm Sjoerd. I'm the founder of Serious Scrum and creator of the Road to Mastery. And I'm a guide people on learning journeys to help them master Scrum together. And we're lucky to have other guides with us here as well from the Road to Mastery. So they already kind of know their way around. Let's do a quick round of introductions. So I want to start with Scott. You were the first to join us in the room.
Hi, Scott, Scrum Master, Agile Coach from York in the UK. I think original Road to Mastery cohort 2020, and I was a guide last year, 2021, not this year, but yeah, looking forward to doing a version of the road again. I'll nominate Fatima.
Hello everyone, my name is Fatima, Scrum Master, Agile Coach from Dallas, Texas, United States.
Yeah.
Let me nominate Monica.
Okay, thank you. So hello everyone, my name is Monica. I'm from Prague, Czech Republic. I just a couple months back, I just finished this amazing Road to Mastery. I've been very fascinated to that. So I'm happy to be here and have a discussion about what's coming here. So, and can I nominate Amy, please?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Amy. I am located in Seattle, Washington, US, and I am an Agile coach and trainer. And I'm also a guide for the Road to Mastery, the North America edition. And I'm excited to meet you if I haven't met you already. And we're going to go with Vaishali next.
Hey, just excited to be here as well. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina in the United States, also a Scrum Master. Did the Road to Mastery with the Flamingo Mallets, I believe. And it hardly seems like it, but I think it was a year ago almost. So, and last but not least, I'm going to pass it to Matt.
I'm Matt from York, Pennsylvania. Like Scott, originally on the original Road to Mastery back in 2020. Since then, I've helped Sjoerd work with this, been a co-guide on his with several cohorts, along with Amy, cohort in Road to Mastery America. And Sjoerd and I are the co-creators of Serious Scrum's Kung Fu Kanban course.
Yeah, kicks ass. Yeah, so we have more people who are also part of the open road, and maybe some special guests as well, people who may not have experienced the Road to Mastery yet, but we want to kind of invite some VIPs here as well. That'll be cool, right? So yeah, well, we're gonna start our journey by checking in, and you all have your own tokens. So because we're playing on a Miro board together, it's good to kind of have some tokens so we know who's doing what on the board. With these tokens, you can already kind of pick and choose your own backpack for this journey. And it's also kind of a good test to check if everybody is able to move things around on the board, if they need any help with that. Of course, we're already familiar with using Miro. Yeah, wonderful. Oh, Matt's got the kitty one.
I know, Matt, you got there fast.
Yeah, so let's hop into our van and start with a quick introduction just to explain to everybody. Already kind of explained a few things about the open road, but the open road is where, but we're going to start our journey with something we also call Basecamp, where we'll meet each other, we'll establish some guidelines, share our ambitions and challenges, coaching each other, learning from each other, playing together. We're going to capture our learning journey and share it openly and publicly. And that already requires openness and courage. And yeah, we're going to live the values as we travel this road. So let's keep moving. So as guides, you're familiar with the guidelines, but I'm gonna send some guidelines to you also in the chat, and as secret messages. So this could be a good way for you to facilitate as well. If you want to create kind of a good base camp with everyone. So kind of the virtual facilitation rules or meeting rules. So rather than me introducing it to the group, we can have the group introduce it to each other, teach it back, explain to them what it means to them in their own words. So I'm going to send a secret message to one of you. So keep an eye out on the chat. So.
Okay, I think I see one of the rules or guidelines. Cameras on, please.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what
this
does that
helps
mean?
us-
Why do you want cameras
Well,
on?
I love it because I can see everyone's face. I can have a sense of their understanding. I can see where they're at and what's happening for them in their environment. And it helps me to respond appropriately or to understand maybe when we need to talk about something or stop talking about something.
Yeah. So, and as you can see, maybe you've noticed this already, but everyone's facing the camera. We're like really like face to face. We're not, having sideway camera angles. Um, and I think that the picture is pretty clear and bright. Mine is a little bit too bright, maybe. It's really dark here. But yeah, it really helps to also have a sense of eye contact, body language. And of course, if anyone needs to step out, you're free to step out. Just let us know in the chat. Be right back. But yeah, it's also good to know when you maybe can turn your camera off if you're kind of pausing your play for a little bit, because that's a nice bridge to the next one.
And this is an invitation only. So you do have, and let me get mine right here, you do have the right to pass. If something does not feel comfortable, if you don't want to answer.
Oh, that's good. That goes me. So this guideline is speaking about respecting diversity. So how I understand it is like respecting each other, respecting that we have a really different perceptions, we have different reality view, we can have different ideas. And I think this is the space where we can cherish these differences, because I believe this is where the creativity really is, and it shows the respect to what others saying. So active listening, I believe that is the place where we can practice it and respect, a different ideas, and we try to be open to learn from each other, even if we disagree. That's it.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. I like the part about really actively listening and respecting the other's worldview. So we all come from different places in the world, and we're a global travel community, and we're not here to argue politics or anything.
Okay, so I got the message of go with the flow. This just means that um, you should go with the flow. You should contribute as it comes with as it comes to mind, and say how you feel about about whatever topic we are discussing. Just go with the flow.
Yeah, so all the time boxes that if we're using them, they're just going to be like guidelines. I mean, we don't know how how valuable the conversation is, and we may want to keep it going for a little bit longer. Sometimes we may want to cut something short. So we can bring a friend along. So who are we bringing along, Scott? Yay!
Luckily, I had it on my desk. So Elmo, enough. Let's move on. We're working like a safe space between us. We can feel free to say, okay, that's enough of that. Should we move on? Is that okay? You don't feel free to kind of challenge each other, but in like a healthy way for the greater good, right?
Yeah. So Elmo, enough. Let's move on. We're gonna agree that's a respectful way to signal that hey, maybe it's time to continue. I can be guilty of going on a bit of a rant or tangent or whatever, blabbering too much, and I kind of like it if people remind me that it's time to move on. We may derail the conversation a little bit. Obviously, there are some trigger words that we have to watch out for, things like velocity and story points and things like that. Yeah, so those are some secret messages with our guidelines. Yeah, we already mentioned the active listening, keeping your attention here. When we're here for each other, right? We're here to learn from each other, to share experiences, not to keep switching tabs and check what else is going on. So I'm bringing my full attention, and I'm really hoping you do too. So yeah, we've got recording in progress, so keep that in mind. We're going to cut out anything we're not comfortable sharing openly and publicly. So I think embrace imperfection, right? So we're going to play, it's going to get messy, we're going to mess up the boards, and that's okay. The board is our playground. All right. So yeah, maybe before we move on, so we're also going to talk a little bit about the meta of how we're staging. Like we're going to now stage a learning journey, right? This is the beginning of, and maybe our audience as well. They're going to take their Scrum team on a journey. Maybe they're also training other people, their stakeholders, maybe other Scrum masters, product owners, developers. So how do you come to a clear framing of the event, a clear agreement? This could be a way that involves everyone, right? You send it. You can also have like secret messages. So what I also kind of do in a physical room, I'll have a sticky note, maybe on the wall or on the table or on a window or the door, and I'm going to put a sticky note on top of it, so it's now hidden. And then I'll invite a participant just to remove a sticky note, and then they can share what that means in their own words to the group. I also, what was nice how Eveline, also my partner in facilitating the physical road to mastery, she made a really nice tree with leaves, with green sticky notes where you can pull out the leaves. So that was also a really fun way of doing it. Yeah, so next up, we're going to chalk and talk. And this is also staging. We're creating connections here about what do we already know about the road to mastery, what do participants already know. Again, if you use this in a meeting, in an event, in a training, of course, you can already share the key highlights about what the Road to Mastery is or what the Open Road is all about. But I bet a lot of the participants already know a lot of stuff. So rather than hearing it from a trainer or facilitator, we can hear it from the group. So let's all write down little trivia, little facts, things we already know about the Road to Mastery, and you can use those text balloons there. Yeah. Now we're gonna stick with this for a bit. So let's see. Let's review what you're writing down here. So maybe Vaishali, do you want to take us through some of this stuff we already know about the Road to Mastery?
I think someone else wrote on here learning journey, but that was the first word that came to mind. And I think it's a lot of fun. And I think there's that duality to it that I've benefited from, where you're both learning about yourself as well as like learning from others, so that you're building out this toolkit that lets you be much more reflective.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious to hear about the part on the top with the bridging the knowledge gap. I'm not sure who added that.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was my experience, and really that, like being part of many trainings, it's really great, and we have a lot of theory, but this really knowledge gap is, the practicing, as you mentioned, the toolkit. It's in a really fun way, in a cooperative way, and learning from each other. It's really, especially for me, when I'm the person, and I like to discover my stuff in my way, not, not from authority, but really this is how I catch the knowledge. This is, the amazing way how to absorb the knowledge, and really be ready to use it the next day. So this toolkit is really an awesome way how to assess it.
Yeah. So it's really that toolkit bridging. Like we all gained a lot of knowledge. We went on these trainings. We had our knowledge assessed and certified. But yeah, we had to put it into practice, right? Bridge that knowledge gap with practice. There's a big scary gap between maybe what you know, what your company knows, and your team, and how don't we lose each other, right? Can we meet each other again and go on this learning journey together, master Scrum together? Yeah, we have a great toolkit. So do you also know what the Road to Mastery is based on? So we're standing on the shoulders of others and we're building on that. So do we remember what the foundations are for the Road to Mastery?
I remember definitely training the back of the room. Is it correct, right?
Yeah, training from the back of the room by Sharon Bowman and TBR short. Yeah, exactly.
Of course, professional Scrum, Scrum.org.
Yeah.
I remember also liberating structures.
Yep. And Vaishali also introduced me to something, some very rich content that I've integrated into the road.
Have the visible thinking strategies.
Yeah, it's at Project Zero, the Harvard's graduate school. So yeah, those are very great techniques, very useful in complex situations.
Another stuff, right? Like the one I did was exploring things. As much as we're here to go down the road to mastery, as in Scrum Mastery, it's exploring other things about like just being a good facilitator, a good coach, a good listener, a good presenter in some ways, So it's just exploring these things in like kind of a safe place, and then being able to practice it in the real as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we have kind of four categories, like 4 angles, 4 competencies that we're really honing in on. So one is facilitation, one is training, and there's some overlap, of course. There's facilitation, training, there's coaching, and it's just coaching each other. And maybe you already know like some of the foundation for coaching that we're using. Remember, maybe.
Are you talking about coactive coaching?
Yeah, so there's some coactive elements to it, indeed. Yeah, because it's like 360 degrees, not just coaching you in only your work or a specific area of your work or specific competence. We're coaching each other actively. NLP, neuro linguistic programming, is a base, just snippets of it, but very useful. Yeah, and some more. We'll get into that. And there's leadership. That's the fourth. So and specifically authentic leadership. So the road to mastery isn't gonna guide you towards being, this perfect model of a Scrum Master that doesn't exist, right? So and a lot of people went on the road to mastery. They shared with me they experienced that, maybe this imposter syndrome. But yeah, on this road to mastery, it's not about adapting you to becoming a Scrum Master. It's about, Scrum Master set of accountabilities that you carry. It's like carried in a belt. You're like a black belt in judo. You don't have to be judoing all day, right? You use it when you need to, and you live it the way you are. It looks different for every one of you. Like how you're going to be a great Scrum Master depends on how you can shine through that. How are you going to design your work the way you are, carrying these accountabilities forward? And that's part of this discovery as well. Like, how can we design the Scrum Master to you specifically? And that's not something you'll do in a training, because it's all standard template. Everybody gets the same content, right? But you don't get this guidance, a personal guidance and support in those 2 days training classes. So that's why the road to mastery is a longer journey, where we frequently interact with each other in small groups, where a great deal of personal attention.
I don't know what someone meant by that, but I liked the idea of getting serious, because I think the length and the building the cohort and the relationships you built allows you to do some of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll have fun while doing all that. So that's definitely part of it. So yeah, great input there. So let's keep walking. And before we continue, so in the road to mastery, we're also going to do stretch break, because we're going to, of course, it gets a little bit uncomfortable. We do it in a safe space. Now it's recorded, so I won't ask you to do any really strange stretches for the world to see. But we'll just do a quick one, just maybe a little bit like this, like that. And while I'm doing this, I just want to share a little bit of the theory why we do stretch breaks in training, also in virtual spaces. It's because it gets the energy flowing to the brain. And that helps with our attention span, retention of information, and being energized. What else might be the benefits of stretching? If anyone knows, raise your hand. What other benefits can we think of stretching, stretch breaks, body breaks?
It's a bit meditative. Can't be.
Yeah.
It increases the oxygen to your brain.
Yeah. Yeah, the blood flow.
Releases some stress. Releases some stress or tension from our body.
Yeah.
Keeps you active during the space of time.
Definitely. Yeah, in the physical room, we have lots more, like physical road to mastery. We have lots of movement, lots of play. We distribute sticky notes all around. We use the ceiling, we use the floors, we use a lot of movement. But it's more difficult because, yeah, virtually you're sitting in front of the computer. So, you know, when you ask yourself, what are your participants really feeling? You don't want them just to have numb butts and restless legs, right? You you also want to energize the people, right? So this and also a great benefit of doing this is it's a little bit awkward. You know, it gets us. You know, we have to be uncomfortable doing that a little bit in front of each other. But that also creates a psychological safety. You know, that idea of getting comfortable, moving out of your comfort zone. And if I see other people around me do silly stuff, then I think, oh, okay, right, we're in a good space. Maybe they're willing to step outside of their comfort zone. I'm willing to step outside of mine. So if they're willing to do that for the team, for each other, then, you know, those are good companions. They'll be more open with me as well, so I can be open with them. So that's part of that as well. So yeah, what we're doing, so from training from the back of the room, and also brain science, a lot of neuroscience involved there as well. We have one of the kind of helpful structures is the 4 C's. The 4 C's. Do you remember the 4 C's? Do you remember these?
Yep.
Yeah. So what are we doing right now? We're
Connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 C, connection. So yeah, I already mentioned that we're here to kind of connect you to the material, connect you to each other, learn from each other. So that's the first C. What's the second one?
Concepts.
Going to explore concepts by interacting with the material, by teaching it back to each other, right? Not by showing a PowerPoint presentation and lecturing. No, you want participants to be participating. And there's a difference between an attendee who just attends and watches something and a participant. Yeah. So connections, concepts. So we're going to put it to
Concrete practice.
concrete practice, right? So how can we use this in our own work, in our own environment? How can we make it practical? Can we try it? Can we share our experiences? Can we show them how it's done? Can we do it together? Can they do it on their own? And then the fourth one is we're going to draw
Conclusions.
conclusions. Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful. Yeah. So teach back what you know, what this experience like. What are the key takeaways? What did we learn? What did we unlearn? But we're here, you know, setting up the journey. So we're going to start with a clean setup. So for this, so yeah, it's a clean setup. Before we go into it, again, the meta behind it, we already are familiar with where this is from. Scott, I think you know where it's from, right?
Yeah. It's on the screen. You reminded me from Caitlin Walker's book, Contents Curiosity, like clean, systematic modeling, clean setup type things. It's essentially contracting, right? Is in its simplest form. So it's like drawing a contract, but as well thinking a little bit more outside the box. So perhaps you can explore into like a metaphor like this. So rather than being quite literal, what you'd be like is explore metaphors, what it would go into more like what it would feel like and things like that. So it's quite a good way to start the session, really.
Yeah. So when you say contracting, you don't mean that we're gonna draw out and write out and type out and sign a contract, but it's
no, close, more like, say, you know, we're probably quite experienced with things like working agreements, more like a smaller scale one of those, like a little agreement, handshake deal, so to speak, between us right now.
Yeah, exactly. Sharing expectations. Yeah. So my question to you for this open road to mastery to be really useful for you, it will be like what? It can be a metaphor. It can be something specific as well. All right, cool. Potluck.
You made me think of a metaphor. You know, like you go to a potluck, it's really fun. You can meet different people. You can take what serves you. You can contribute things. Where I was going with that.
Nice. And which one stands out to you?
I like since I'm in a food theme, box of chocolates.
Oh yeah, that's nice, like a box of chocolates. Yeah, no, it's like yeah, you have to different things to try and different tastes, and you know, some things you may like, some things not, but maybe also for specific moments. And it's something you share. Also, you give it away. So every play is something we share. We share in the experience, but we can also share it with others, and it's also kind of celebratory in a way. Yeah. So I'm gonna. So while we're doing this, we're gonna try something else, another technique for virtual facilitation. So rather than keep saying names or having to invite people to share, I'm gonna share a magic object. So I'm going to start with a rubber ducky. And I've got this really great new internet connection that transmogrifies this little ducky into something as we transfer it across the virtual cyberspace. So I'm going to send it all the way to Monica. Does it transform into anything? Did it work?
I think yeah.
Oh,
it
wow.
worked.
Yay! I have one of those.
I have that after, definitely. Okay. And the question was to share, what does it mean, like for me, right? Okay. So I had this non-maternity world. I think this is very personal for me right now. But you know, it's awesome to be engaged mentally in a different way. So yeah, it's fun way to share that. But you know, I think it's engaging, of course, and think of it with amazing and clever people. So I think this is, you know, what I meant with that.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can be like children too.
Perfect. So should I share it with as well?
Yeah, let's see if it works. Let's see if it also works on your end. If you you have the
Okay.
special internet connection.
Okay, I will try it. So try to send it to Matt.
Wow, look at that. Matt,
Awesome.
it also fixed it right away and added colors to it. That's brilliant.
Well, going with the theme of kids love to play in the sand, and I put playing in the sandbox because you kind of have a clean slate and you're going to build something. It may not be right. You're going to see what works, see what doesn't work, build upon it even, and just have a lot of fun with your friends, throw sand at each other, bury somebody. That's what it's about. It's having a good time and getting some serious work done.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. What's this thing that old Scrum Masters have something weird on their desks?
That's the job. I mean, that's what we do. So, but from this, I'm going to pass it along to Vishali.
Caught me not at my desk. And so
Oh, yeah.
all I'm going to be able to do is show you my fancy pen.
Oh, it is a fancy
There we
pen.
go.
Nice.
But I actually was really curious to hear a little bit about the one that was about traveling on, the Valley Field. I'm not sure who added that, but to explain a little bit more what that would be like.
that was my one. I can talk about that. It started off as Summerfield, but I was like, no, I don't mean that. So probably because I've binge watched the show Yellowstone recently, it made me think of an open space, but it had some kind of enclosure. So it made me think of like a field, a beautiful field in a valley. But you've kind of got to go to the place, but you're protected by the surroundings. But it's still this beautiful place where you can explore and do different activities and this kind of thing. So that's what it means by valley field.
Yeah, without any scary dinos.
No dinosaurs.
Well, maybe a few cute ones. Yeah. So, do you also want to share more of your stuff, Tima? Or maybe something else that's.
Yeah. I was hoping Vashali would pass the pen to me.
Oh,
Because
let's,
here I
let's
have
try.
Hulk. I don't
Oh,
know.
wow. Oh, the Hulk. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This video with Hulk all the time.
I wish I'd passed it.
So it's like traveling on a train. So when you think about a train, train has different coaches, right? And each and every one of us went in our different coaches, and train travels long distance, and is very long. Can be like 100 coaches or 50 coaches attached together. But the fact is, there's a destination, and we cannot even see it in sight. So let's keep going, keep moving. While we are being connected with different coaches that each and every one of us are in.
I love
While
that.
we share experiences and ideas.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah. So we're going to take it to step 2. So for this open road to mastery to be like, and one of those things you wrote down, you would need me too, need to be like what? And so please maybe let's pick, maybe 3. Let's pick 3. I like the train. Let's go for the train. Matt, do you want to pick one?
I was actually going to pick the one you just picked. So
yeah, that was too good to pass out on.
That was good.
Box of
Well, a few
chocolates.
times we'll actually accept the word train in here.
Yeah, training. Yeah. A box of chocolates. I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fluid.
Some good ones.
Oh, Ray's joining. He's Ray's. He's sneaky Ray. So Ray is also part of this, but he had to step out. He was in a hotel and had to arrange some accommodations. But I see he's on the board. So
there's a ghost, the ghost of Ray.
The ghost of Ray. Yeah. So he may step in a little bit. Yeah. So for this open road to mastery to be like traveling on a train, or for it to be like a box of chocolates, or for it to be fluid, what would you need to be like? Hey, Ray.
Hey, I'm back for the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, cool. I saw you like ghosting us, how do you say ghost, like being a ghost on the board? Yeah, wonderful. So Ray, maybe quickly, because you just joined in, because we're recording as well, maybe for the world, so they know who you are and what you do and how you got here. Can you share that with us? Oh, you're on mute.
Of course, I would do that at while we're doing. My name's Ray. I'm a Scrum Master, Agile Coach, Agilist in general. Discovered the Road to Mastery last year, and it was a perfect fit for what I was looking for out of a journey-based approach to learning and improving. So I'm just happy to be here and be a part of it and contribute in any way that I'm able.
Yeah, awesome. Also very glad you could make it, even from a remote hotel room. Yeah. So yeah, for this road to mastery to be like traveling on a train, I'm gonna just quickly go through these. We're respectful of others, adventurous, bringing just enough baggage and stories. Of course, it's all about the journey, right? The stories that we exchange that makes the journey. We don't want it to be very boring, right? So food, coffee to share, and cards to play. Yeah, we have lots of cards and games, and well, we brought a backpack full of them. So we also brought a box of chocolates on our plane with some water. We need to be like water for box of chocolates. I need some explanation for that one.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I
for
didn't know we
fluid.
were. I didn't know we were lining them up. Yeah, it's for fluid.
Okay.
The somewhat famous Bruce Lee quote, "You like water."
Yeah, be like water. Yeah. But for the box of chocolates, we need to be a little nutty. I love that. Was really nice pun. Yeah. Willing to buy into unknown experiences. Yeah. Curious and okay with some fails. Absolutely. Good fluid. We need to be a little bit spontaneous. Just go with whatever comes our way. Be vulnerable. Ready to unlearn. And the Bruce Lee quote, be like water. So step number 3, for this open road to mastery to be really useful for you and for you to be like, for example, a little nutty, what will you need? What would you need from me? What would you need from each other? So I'm going to pick that one. I love that one. Amy, what do you need? I'm going on a Scrum journey and I'll bring...
Always, I want to be a little nutty, so I want to be playful. Play and fun, these are all key components for me, always.
Yeah, so it's all about playfulness, mindfulness, playfulness.
Yeah.
So we can do stuff just for the fun of doing them, right? Okay, so not everything we do has to have purpose. Not everything that we do has to have some kind of validation of time well spent. If we're having fun and if we're just fooling around, that's a purpose in and of itself, right? And you know what it's like in the office. We're always a little bit anxious. We're always a little bit behind. We always want to be busy bees, because not being busy is a crime. But we want to be playful. We actually want to waste people's time a little bit for the best possible reason. So what's that? Oh, that's Bruce Lee, right? Or not? Is this statue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that for me personally, and a lot of the people on this call have already heard me say this. I think that that quote could be to me, it's the spirit of agility. Being shapeless, formless. Taking the shape of the container you're in, and you can drip or you can crash. You just go with the flow. So I just I think having that general agility is just vital.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the teapot. We're gonna have a mad tea party down the road sometime. Yeah. So ask questions, listen, be open-minded. All easier said than done, but it's luckily we have some experience with all of this. And it's interesting. Like before we close this one up, I just want to check with you how long you're still okay to go for, because we started a little bit later. So if you want to keep going till the end, or if you need to step out at a specific moment in time.
I will need to drop.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do as well.
All right. So, but then what we'll do is we'll wrap it up and we'll pick it up next time altogether. For those of you who can make it next time, I think this is a good place to kind of stop as well before we go into more concepts. But yeah, just to kind of wrap it up, why are we doing this? And we're taking our time to do this because we haven't really even gone into Scrum yet. And we already kind of spent an hour here together. Yeah, on the longer journey, that makes sense because everything we invest in our connections here right now is going to pay off. And you've all experienced this. We've experienced also travelers being a little bit impatient at the start, a little bit, hey, you know, when it really getting it going. We want to go straight into these really yummy discussions about all of our challenges. But what's even more important is that we get to know each other a little bit, and we agree on what this journey will be like, because we're going to be in it for quite a bit. It's going to be a bit tricky with the open road because we're alternating members, so that's something worth keeping in mind. But with them, I'll share this. You know, that's also why it's nice to have this, because I could share it. You know, these are our expectations for participation in the road, and it's all part of creating an environment. I'm quickly just going to share that. So this is the first bit of the coaching arc where we're fostering an environment where we create, I'm not sure if create is the right word, but where psychological safety emerges. People can be free to self-manage and comfortable with each other, right? And we need that to have these, to really meaningfully go into these conversations about our challenges, what they mean to us. So yeah, part of the establishing the environment, figuring out how we like to be coached and guided. So this is where we're going to pause it for now. Thank you so much for being here. Let's do a quick shout out. Let's quick recap. What are your first kind of impression? Any tips, maybe suggestions moving forward? Let's start with you, Fatima.
Oh, I think it's cool. Let's continue the way it is. No suggestion.
Yeah, nice. Will do. Ray, even though you joined us very briefly.
Yeah, I joined briefly, and I'm on tethered LTE, so I apologize for my broken connection. But no, I think it's great. I was just telling Amy in private messages that been reading this book lately called Leadership is Language, and it reminds me a lot of R2M because it's David Marquet of the Turn the Ship Around fame. He talks about being journey focused instead of destination focused, and that was the big part. Once he started talking about that, I was like, that's exactly what I've been saying, and that's what R2M is. So I think this is good, taking, opening up the journey for other people to approach it from that angle. So yeah. I think it's good so far.
Yeah, exactly. And next time I'm going to share our personal ambitions and our shared ambitions and how we align and how we help each other achieve it, because we're on the same road, but we may have different destinations in mind, and maybe there's some similarity, but we're definitely going to help each other get there. Yeah. Scott?
Yeah, I'm going to, so twofold. I think if you're not, so going through the open road or a version of the road to mastery again, it's like, if you're not actively trying to master, you are the result of your habits, right? You are a symptom of your habits. So if you're not actively trying to master Scrum as a habit, you're not going to be a Scrum Master, right? So, but then from an open road perspective, also reflecting how can we, because it does take a time and it is a little bit slow in the beginning, isn't it? So I'm also thinking out loud of like, how could we show the value? Because we all have done it, right? So we know that the persistence of staying with it for months on end is the value in it. I'm also thinking how can we show that better as well? So I'm going to keep reflecting on that, how we can add it more into the sessions.
Yeah, so yeah, for a good point. I think those also watching that, you may be wondering indeed what, is the pace, is that okay? What am I getting out of this? And yeah, that's, you know, maybe if you're just watching, you're not getting the experience we're maybe having right now. And like you said, Scott, you know, it's Scrum is something you master together, right? It's not something you master on
Mhm.
your own. Being a Scrum master, yeah, if you cannot do it on your own, so you need your team. You need people around you that can support you in that. So 100% true. Monica?
On the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Hopefully, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. I changed the mic. I think I love being here. I don't have currently anything, you know, how to actually, you know, what to change. I think that this is brilliant. Just one saying is that my experience was that, you know, I was totally hooked after the first session that we had, you know, Road to Mastery, because I was able to use all of the materials just, you know, like that. And I think this is the awesome way, because it's like the experimentation and really having this toolbox. So I think all of that, what is here, is, you know, it's ready to be used in an awesome way. And you know, which is making the life very easy. So I love
Absolutely.
to,
Yeah. So for some of them, you know, people who are watching maybe think, oh, this is just getting to know each other, introduction to the road, but we're also showing you the meta behind it. You know, how can you stage something similar to this? So there's already practicality to it. Like, how can you apply it in your own concrete practice? And you know, that's a little bit unfortunate for those watching, but the Road to Mastery, the full version, it's got lots more play. So we're just gonna pick and choose some of the chocolate from the box and kind of put it together and share it with you, just to give you an impression what the Road to Mastery is like. But yeah, there's so many things you can put straight into practice, and it's never too late to establish this kind of base camp with your own team to create this environment for Scrum. Especially if you feel like that openness isn't there with your team, this could be really valuable. All right, then we'll wrap it up. So thanks so much for being here and being so courageous to do this openly and publicly. It's really wonderful. So we'll see how it goes and what the responses will be. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get some feedback from the community. So we're happy to share it with you. Again, you'll get the recording before anyone else, and you can comment on it and share with me if you're okay with that being published. So
Thank you, sir.
Thank
have
you.
a nice day, evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.